Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 21 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day. We've got Lori Iqbal, Lori Salem Guevara, and Linda Euler. Thank you all so much. The L squad is huge, my goodness. But thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right, so last night it was a wild and crazy double eviction. Jess was evicted by a vote of 4-0. Nicole won the HOH. This is just a quick little recap. Nicole decided to nominate Christy and Tommy. Was that a mistake? Cliff won the power veto, did not use it, and then Christy was evicted by a vote of 3-0. Was that a mistake? I don't know. Personally, I feel like it was a mistake to evict Christy over Tommy and Jackson. I feel like either Tommy or Jackson should have been her target, but you know, it is what it is. The past is in the past. And just like that, Nicole now has a huge resume for herself. That's a pretty big deal to win the double eviction HOH, and I think she's got a shot to win if she makes it to the final two, because I remember Christy and Tommy talking a few days ago and they're like, we love Nicole so much and I would totally vote for her in the end if she won some competition. So I think if she could win maybe another competition or two, she could be in business here. So the feeds came back with the house guests packing up Christy's stuff, and they included her Ariel doll that she made with all of her stuff. Aww, so nice. Okay, so then Tommy got called to the diary room, and the other four were talking, and they're like, oh my god, we're one step closer to the final four. This is what we've been working towards, blah, blah, blah. So Nicole says, people, meaning like Christy and Tommy, were telling me to put up Jackson and Holly, and it probably would have been smart for me to put them up. But she gave her word to them and she stuck to it. So she says she's sticking with them. Final four. And the others agree. They're like, yeah, let's do this. So then they're all talking about dying on swords, and I would die on my sword for you, and I would die on my sword for you, and we're like we have the most integrity out of everyone, blah, blah, blah. This is Big Brother, so you can leave your integrity out on the sidewalk. But anyway, I just want a Cliff and Nicole final too. Is that so much to ask? So Cliff says, with this next HOH, even if one of their group wins, somebody is gonna have to go up on the block next to Tommy. And they feel like, yeah, we're gonna be fine as long as Tommy doesn't win the power veto, because if he does, somebody's gotta go from our group. Ugh. So Jackson's thinking the power veto could be BB Comics, because they haven't done that yet and it's so iconic. And he's right, they are doing that this week. And I think that Tommy has a great shot to win that one, because he's got a good mix of like brains and athleticism. So I think Tommy's got a really good shot at winning that one. But anyway, everybody's saying how proud they are of Nicole, and it was exciting. I feel like when she won last night, everybody watching was like, it was exciting. So Nicole starts crying, just talking about how excited she is to see her family. Oh. All right, so then Tommy came out of the diary room. I think Holly went in next, but whatever. So Nicole is saying that she would like all five of them to sit down at some point, because she wants to explain her nominations and her decision. Everything happened so fast during the live show. She didn't really get a chance to tell them what she was thinking. So Cliff says, that's a fine idea. We'll do that later. So then Tommy excitedly says, now I know what it feels like to survive the block. I mean, yeah, at least he didn't have to sit up there for a full week, right? Because that would have been agonizing, right? And if you're keeping score, that means that Holly is now the only one that hasn't been nominated. And I don't think she, oh yeah, she wasn't in this conversation, she was in the DR. But in a later conversation, she actually said in front of everyone, like, I haven't been nominated yet, I'm the only one, blah, blah, blah. I think she was also talking about how she hasn't gotten a punishment yet, and she wishes she could have done that. She was bummed that she didn't get to do the wall comp. Why don't you just, like, be quiet because I think you're probably pissing people off. But anyway, Tommy seemed okay-ish last night. I think a huge part of him was relieved that Christy was evicted because he didn't have to have a hand in it. You know, he was up on the block next to her. It went so quickly because it was the double eviction, so he didn't have to deal with another full week of Christy up on the block. And I think obviously he saw her as a huge threat to win the game. So he's like, wow, that kind of opens up my pathway a little bit. And also at times she was really dragging him down because everybody's cool with Tommy. But then with Christy working with him, they were like, ugh, I don't feel like I can trust Christy. So I think he was kind of psyched for it, honestly. But he did end up blanketing up a la Audrey. And at first he was happily talking about Nicole's HOH win. Everybody was super, super happy for her. It seemed very genuine. And then Nicole and Tommy were alone in the kitchen. And she says, you know I love you, Tommy. I know you're probably mad at me right now and you want to like punch me in the face or whatever. And Tommy starts crying and he says, no, I'm not mad at you. Come on. He says he's just wondering if he's alone now. And Nicole says, it may seem like you're alone, but deep down, you are. No, she said, deep down, I promise you, you're not alone. So she's encouraging him to win that next HOH, and I think she really does want him to win it because I think she wants Tommy to take out Jackson. But Tommy's like, yeah, I have to win this. I get it. It is what it is. I just got to go out there and win. So he says last week the three duos were all doing the same thing to each other, meaning they were all trying to pit the other two duos against each other and then they could play the middle. So Tommy says, I really meant what I was saying to you though, like about him wanting to target Jackson and then go to the final four with Christy, Cliff, and Nicole. So Nicole says, yeah, with the three duos all trying to do the same thing last week, she didn't want to look at duos when she was making her decision. She wanted to single out the individual that scared her the most, and that was Christy. So that's why she targeted Christy. And she says, I had to put you next to her so that you couldn't potentially save her with the power of veto. Makes sense. And Tommy says he totally gets it. So then Tommy goes to the boat room for some alone time and he's saying to himself, I gotta win. I'm gonna do my best. Okay. So then a little later, Jackson and Tommy are sitting in front of the memory wall, and this seems like a classic kissing ass session before the next HOH competition to make sure that you're good with everybody. So Jackson's telling Tommy, I've always trusted you. There's just been some other people along the way that I couldn't trust, meaning Christy. So Tommy says, I know, I get it, it's okay. And Jackson says, I love you, I've always loved you, I've always had your back. And my actions have shown that. So Tommy says, yeah, well, same. I gotta win this next HOH for safety, but I don't even know what I would do if I won. And Tommy says, I'm not even talking, oh, sorry, Jackson says, I'm not even talking about that. This is like on a man-to-man level. You may feel like you've got nobody right now, or you feel like all your people are gone, but I've always been one of your people. So in all fairness, yes, Jackson has looked out for Tommy and not targeted Tommy. So I'm sure a lot of this was genuine, but I think he's also trying to be like, hey, if you win HOH, I haven't done anything to you, so don't put me up. Cool. So then the feeds go down for 2 hours, and I was thinking, all right, it's time for this HOH competition. I think most of us were thinking it was the next HOH, which Bailey and Swaggy are hosting, but then the feeds come back to freaking backgammon, and Nicole is still wearing the HOH key, which is lovely, but what's going on here? Like, why don't we have a new HOH? So I don't know why that happened. I don't know why the feeds went down for so long. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were filming something with Sway Lee and it didn't involve the house guests, like maybe they were walking through the house or something. I don't know, but there was no mention of them. So it didn't seem like they were interacting with the house guests at that time. I don't know what was going on. I also don't know why they didn't play the competition last night, because usually they do it the same night as the double, but Whatevs. So Nicole and Tommy were chatting in the Target bedroom. They're hugging, and Tommy says, I'm good. You know, I'm grateful that you guys at least gave me $5,000 tonight by keeping me, because now 3rd, 4th, and 5th place also get a cash prize on top of their stipend. So for 5th place, it is $5,000. So everybody left is getting something extra. So Nicole says, I feel really good with you and Cliff. And I don't want you to think that me evicting Christy was supposed to be an attack on you. That's not what it was at all. And Tommy says, I don't see it as an attack. But he says, moving forward, he doesn't think it would make sense game-wise for him to be the next target. He's thinking, it's gotta be Jackson, right? So he's saying if some sort of deal was made, meaning with Jackson, Holly, Cliff, and Nicole, then yeah, I'm probably gonna be next. But he'll see what happens with this next HOH competition, right? Maybe he'll win it. So he keeps telling Nicole, I really am okay. He feels good on a game level. He's really okay. And he says he's a little relieved in a way that Christy's gone, because it was hard to play with her at times. See, he'll even admit it. Okay, so then Tommy says if he wins HOH, Nicole is not going up on the block. He respects what she did. There's no like grudge there. And he says, if I win, I'm gonna have to talk to people and see who wants to move forward with me and who's not gonna just turn around and put me up the following week. Everyone's gonna say they wanna work with you if you win HOH, you silly. But Nicole says, I would love to move forward with you, and now we'll be on a more level playing field. It'll be great. So Tommy says, okay, cool, we'll talk more when I win HOH. But I gotta get some sleep and kick some butt. So there's some confirmation that the HOH is happening on Friday. Okay, meanwhile, Holly and Jackson were chatting in the bathroom area. Holly is kind of worried about what Tommy would do if he wins HOH. So Jackson says, I mean, we've never gone after Tommy. Nicole just put him up on the block. She's the only person who's put him up on the block. Cliff won the veto. He didn't use it. So, I mean, they got rid of Christy. Maybe we'll be okay. I don't know. So, in other news, Holly doesn't feel good physically. We know! You're talking about it constantly. We get it. Okay, so a little later, everyone was together in the RV room, and Nicole explains her decision for the double eviction, because now everybody's together. So she says, Christy survived the block so many times, and she was able to talk her way out of things, manipulate her way out of things, and it could have kept happening again and again and again all the way to the end. And if, excuse me, okay, and if Christy did make it to the end, she'd be able to make a really good argument for herself. She's great with her words. She's a strong competitor, so she could have won some of those final competitions. And again, Nicole's saying she was looking at individuals here, not duos, and Christy scared her the most out of anybody. And they all say, yeah, we respect it. Sounds good. Of course they're happy with it. They all wanted Christy out. So they're like, yeah, it's chill. It's lit. Okay, so then a little later, Nicole got her HOH basket. So of course, because she won during the double eviction, she's not going to get the room at all, but she does still get a basket, which is exciting. So she immediately starts crying when she sees it. Cliff carries it out of the storage room and brings it to the living room for her. And she's going through her family photos. She got 3. One with her mom, dad, her and her sisters. I think she said that they took that right before she left. And her dad was so excited that he was wearing a California shirt. It's so cute. And she got one of her dog, Georgia Peach, and one of herself as a kid with her grandma who passed away. So sweet. I'm not gonna lie, I freaking ugly cried for her. It was so sweet, and you could tell she was so excited to see her family. So her letter was from her parents, and they were telling her how proud they are of her and they can't wait to see her. Aww. And her basket was sick. It was very unicorn heavy. Unicorns were really featured here. So she got unicorn slippers, a unicorn headband with a horn. She got Lucky Charms with unicorns, and she was like, oh my god, 3 new unicorns? How long have I been away? It was funny. She got a unicorn face mask. I have that one. It's excellent. She got unicorn poop. I don't know what that is. I think it's some sort of candy or something. If you know, leave it in the comments. And then she got heart-shaped sunglasses with rose-colored lenses, rosé, a pink hat, nail polish, her sunflower sweatshirt from home, lots of other snacks and candy, like combos. Little Debbie's! Oh my god. I used to eat so much Little Debbie's. And then her gift from Pop TV was an owl mug. So she got a freaking nice ass haul with that HOH basket. And everyone was so happy for her, and it seems so genuine. So then Nicole brought her photos to the RV room because she says, I don't know how long I'm gonna have these for. So she held all of her photos up to the camera one at a time and talked about all of her family members. She called them her 4 best friends. That's so nice. You could hear the love like coming out of her voice. Okay, so today the feeds went down pretty early this morning for the HOH competition. And guess what? Jackson won HOH again. I just feel like Jackson should have gone last night. I really do think so. But whatever. What do I know, right? Okay, so I'm not sure what the competition was, but it involved buzzers, and yeah. I guess Jackson was pretty quick on his buzzer. So they were all talking about also how much they enjoyed seeing Swaggy and Bailey and how nice they were in person. That's wonderful. And yeah, that's it pretty much. Nominations are going to be later today. Obviously, Tommy's the target. Duh. I'm not sure if Cliff or Nicole will be going up next to him. It'll be interesting to see who the pawn is. But it's a dangerous week to be a pawn, because if Tommy wins the veto, somebody else is gonna have to go. And Tommy knows, like, this is do or die. He's gotta win this veto or he is out of here. So it's gonna be BB Comics. It's happening tomorrow. But if you guys want to check back later, I'll post who the nominees are. And I'll see you for the veto tomorrow. So let me know what you think in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.